What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Eshi and I do a ton of DIY, finance, and travel videos. And recently, we went to San Diego to look at apartments because we are hoping to move there. If you have not seen part 1 of my apartment tours video, I will leave that link right here because we saw a lot of great apartments in those first 2 days while we were there. We saw, I think, a total of 6 apartments in 2 days because I like to overplan. And now here in part 2, you're gonna see 6 more apartments for day 3 and 4 of our trip. I also filmed a little vlog for you guys while we were on that trip, so you can see some clips of the apartments that we saw and mostly a lot of clips of food. So if you're interested in that, I will leave the link to our vlog right here as well. Before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor and click that like button, it really helps support me, and then click subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this. Just to fill you guys in on some of the requirements that we had for all the apartments that we were seeing. I did mention a couple in part 1, but a couple more for you guys to understand what we were really looking for. We wanted to make sure that there were cement walls between apartments across the building.
That just helps ensure that, you know, when I'm playing music or video games late at night, we're not bothering our neighbors.
Yeah, we realized that was super important because here in Detroit, we have cement walls between the apartments and we can barely hear our neighbors. And we've gone to friends' apartments who don't have cement and they get noise complaints. We also wanted to make sure that they had fiber internet options. That was super important for this guy.
Absolutely.
And as a recap to some of the things we mentioned last time, we are looking for some good natural lighting. That's super important when I'm filming videos or even when we're both just working from home. Natural light is super important. We wanted a place that had good views just because we're kind of used to that. We're privileged in that way because we have some great views here in Detroit and we wanted something similar. In general, again, we are super privileged and super lucky to have this apartment here in Detroit. So I think our standards are probably a little bit higher, a little bit bougier than most people. So bear that in mind. Again, we are super thankful that we can have those expectations. So we are expecting, you know, a little bit nicer appliances, bathrooms, finishes, things like that. So just keep that in mind. We are bougie, I apologize, but that's just how we like things. Just so you know, if we're glancing down, we're actually watching the tours with you guys, so we'll be looking right down here. So let's jump right in. The first apartment that we saw in day 3 of our San Diego trip was the Diega. Right off the bat, our friend actually lives in this apartment building, so we had a little bit of a sneak preview with him. But the lounge already, like the entrance lobby, is just so cool.
Beautiful.
I love the trees. And then right away, she showed us a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom on the 40th floor. And oh my God, those views, I mean, it was incredible.
Absolutely insane. I think this is the most expensive 1-bedroom. There are a few floors above this, but this is like one of the ones that's not considered a suite. It was like $4,400 was this one.
Something like that. It was definitely too expensive for us. It's on the 40th floor, so obviously we have to look, if we're looking at this building, a couple floors down, I would say.
But the views are fantastic. You see the airport on the right, and then it goes all the way past Coronado Island to a group of islands I didn't even know existed. Just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you could see the airplanes touching down and lifting off. I mean, it was insane.
So cool. Looking back, I think one of the things that surprises me here is that the apartment is actually smaller than ours, but by like quite a bit. I didn't realize it at the time.
This one is around 740 square feet. Our apartment here in Detroit is about 840 square feet.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so it is significantly smaller than the apartment we have here. So this specific one wouldn't quite work for us. Again, way too expensive and way too small. So we're gonna have to go lower on the floors and bigger on the floor plan.
But imagine waking up to that view every day. That would just be mind-blowing.
And the closet space here is great. I love the rods and the actual storage built in. The bathrooms are great. I don't love the brown, I think it was brown tile in the bathtub. I just prefer white tile, but it's not that big of a deal. It was fine. The storage is a little lacking here too. There's only that front closet and then the walk-in closet in the master, so like extra storage space is a little lacking. It does come with washer, dryer, and unit, which is a must for us. You know, the appliances are fine. It has a gas stove.
Which is dope.
Yeah,
Big fan.
which he loves because he does all the cooking and he wanted that.
But you're right, there's also no island, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, there's no island, which, you know, reduces the cabinet space and the countertop space for cooking and stuff, which he spreads out when he cooks, so we kind of need that countertop space. Other than that, I mean, it was beautiful. And then she actually took us across the building, like basically across the hallway, to the other opposite view of a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. And even this, I mean, you can see the mountains. It's just beautiful. And actually, as we were walking through here, you'll see it soon. There's actually a plane coming into land, and it was like eye level with us at the 40th floor. It was so cool.
Yeah, and you can't get this on camera, but behind that airplane are 2 others that are still coming in. So there's just consistent stream of these planes. It's just breathtaking. This is the eastern view. The other one was the western view.
And you can still see a little bit of the ocean, so that's pretty nice. And again, it's the same floor plan pretty much, so a little too small for us. Another thing that we were kind of keeping in mind is if we're gonna move to another 1-bedroom, we wanted it to be a little bit bigger than ours, just because now we have cats and, you know, we need to think about what kind of space they need.
The other thing is they seem to have less storage than we currently have. I mean, that could come down to literally an extra 100 square feet of storage that we have here, but yeah, it seems quite a bit less in that regard.
It seemed like in most of these units in the bedrooms, the windows had this like nice corner window situation going on, and I really like that for some reason. I think it's really cool that you get that corner like view of everything.
And then there's another plane coming in right when we were talking about that, just so cool.
And another thing I forgot to mention, because our friend lives here, he did mention that it's a little bit harder to clean up in the kitchen because the water is so hard, it leaves stains even if it's just water, so something to be aware of. And then she showed us a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I think it was on the 26th floor, which is obviously a lot lower down. But right off the bat, you walk in and there's a storage closet, there's the laundry, and then there is a hallway you walk down into the guest bedroom and then the guest bathroom, which is nice. Again, the same types of amenities and finishes. She did mention that there's 2 types of finishes in this building. I think we only saw like the darker version of the finishes. The other one, I think it has like lighter cabinets, lighter countertops, whatever. I honestly prefer dark cabinets, so that was fine with me. But this living room, I mean, again, the view, it's breathtaking. It's breathtaking.
Amazing.
It really is. The balcony is nice and big in this 2-bedroom. The configuration for the living room space might be a little weird just because the way I saw where you're supposed to put the TV, the couch would kind of go opposite the TV and then kind of block the balcony door, so you just have to figure out configuration a little bit.
The other thing is, again, with this one, I felt like this had even less counter space than the last one, just looking at this video. And again, the lack of an island, which I think we see in a lot of the other apartments, was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was kind of concerned about this particular apartment facing the east side is that there's a crane right there, and they're going to be building another building right beside this. So over the next year and a half, I think they said construction was going to finish. I kind of felt like that was going to take away from the view, but this building is facing north, right? Or south, so it looks beautiful still. It has a massive amount of space.
And another thing to note here, because this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, the second bathroom has a standing shower, which I really like.
Love that.
Yeah, so if we get the 2-bed, 2-bath, we get that standing shower and then the bathtub shower for the guest bedroom, which I like. Again, it's that like unit, the corner window unit situation going on in the master bedroom, which I love. Plenty of space for our king bed and plenty of space to walk all the way around it too. So yeah, it's just, I mean, this apartment is beautiful. It's just a matter of whether we will be able to afford it, how high we can get with the budget that we have. So we'll have to figure it out. And then she showed us the outdoor space, which is kind of like the big ticket like seller here with this building.
It's absolutely crazy. There's so much to do outside.
Yeah, so basically this building has 2 towers, and in between the 2 towers on the 7th floor, all of that is outdoor space that you're seeing right here. So she'll take us to the pool and the hot tub, which, I mean, I think that was probably the best setup.
Very well done.
Yeah,
It looks so cool.
It looks very luxe is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, everything is done really well. And then she'll take us to some other outdoor seating areas with like fire pits. There's a couple different places for barbecues where you can entertain. Our friend who lives in this building actually says that, yeah, it's usually like there's always people hanging out here, and I imagine if we lived there, we would be taking every opportunity to come sit down here in the outdoors, really.
They have outdoor Wi-Fi, which is brilliant because you can work from home, and they have several people do that during the day as well, which is awesome.
Yeah. Though our friend did mention, if you live closer to this level, so closer to the 7th floor, I think he lives like 8th floor or something like that, you can kind of hear it when people are partying outside. So that's just something to be aware of.
That just means you can go down, you know when the party's happening. Oh, and this is a really large fireplace. All the fireplaces you can turn on with a timer, which is really cool. They had an outdoor ping pong table, which is awesome.
Yep. And this is the another area right beside the pool that you can entertain. It has a TV, it has a barbecue if you're into that, or not so much. But the indoor spaces were also really nice, furnished really well. There are so many different sets of rooms that you can kind of hang out in if you want to work from home. There is a steam room, there's lockers, and then the gym is probably another huge selling point for most people. We mentioned this in the last video, but we're not big gym people. But if you live here, I feel like you kind of turn into a big gym person.
Yeah, they said there was like 3,000 plus square feet of stuff, and I wholeheartedly believe them. It was massive.
I don't know almost all of the names to all of the machines that they have. It's like a lot of machines. There's a cycling room. There is a little like mirrored studio, which I'm sure I would use for like dance. There's just every machine you could possibly want. And another cool thing that you mentioned is there's like a QR code or something that you can scan on your phone on each machine, and it will show you what to do with that machine, which is super helpful if you don't know what you're doing at all.
Completely.
There's like a jungle gym inside, and then when you walk out, it's like another jungle gym. It's an outdoor gym is what they called it.
Yeah, so cool. And the nice thing is it flows between the two, and they barely ever shut the door, according to them, which I believe. I think they said there's 4 inches of precipitation in February, according to Google, so
yeah.
Almost nothing.
The business center is nice. I think that I would probably only come down here for
Shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard, that's what that thing is called. And then the pool table is there too, which would be nice. So overall thoughts about the Diega?
I love the Diega. I think it's absolutely beautiful. If you could get a place on the 40th floor, that'd be amazing. We're not going to be able to
afford that.
But I think the Diega is like, in my mind, top of the list. It's just so cool.
Yeah, it is very, very pretty. Now it's just down to what can we really afford and for how high up. The next set of apartments was called Market Street Village, and this was in East Village. So a little bit further away from like Gaslamp, where the bars and the clubs were. This outdoor lounge was okay.
Yeah.
It was nothing like spectacular. There were some tables and chairs, and that was about it.
It was a little underwhelming to go from the Diega directly here, which I think was the biggest thing.
Yeah, and coming down here, this was the pool area, and again, I mean, it's hard to compare to something like the Diega, which is like luxe living. The pool was fine. It was just a little bit smaller, you know, not as nice of amenities. There's a hot tub, again, not as nice, but...
And this is more of a self-guided tour, so you'll just see us kind of wandering around.
Yep. And there were a lot of apartments like facing in at the courtyard.
Which is kind of cool. It was like a little community is what it kind of seemed like.
Yeah. The gym was fine. The hallways were really dreary, which I think is something that you'll see follow us through some of these apartments. It's just a little bit lacking in natural light. So this is a 1-bedroom that we walked into, and right off the bat I noticed that there were carpeted floors everywhere, which I am not a big fan of. I just really prefer like hardwood or like the fake hardwood because it's easier for cleanup. You can see the appliances, the finishes, even inside the pantries with like the storage units are all a little outdated. It's just a little old-fashioned. Even like the countertops, you can just see it's just a little outdated. The balcony space is nice if you're into city views. We just prefer like some sort of water or like
nature in some
nature,
sense.
Something like that. That kind of view is what we prefer. But if you're into like city views, this is perfectly fine. And you are, I feel like, getting more space for your money in this
absolutely.
building.
I think it's like double the space for the money.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I felt about this entire space was that it kind of gave me like the family vibe. Like when my parents moved here or to Canada, we initially stayed in places like this, right? Maybe not even as nice as this, but that's kind of the vibe it was giving me. If you have a family, if you have a budget, a tight budget, but you want to live in downtown San Diego or as close to it as possible, I think this is a beautiful option.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, the prices are much lower than some of the other units we were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
The views are fine. I mean, like everything is there. There's storage.
In-unit washer dryer.
All of that good stuff is there. It's just that it's a little bit dreary. It's a little bit less natural light. The appliances are a little bit older. But if you're a family, like this is a great option. We also went and saw a 2-bedroom. I think this was a 1-bath, but they also have 2-bed, 2 baths. Same things. All the finishes are the same.
Tons of space.
Yeah, tons of space. Tons of space for the amount of money that you're paying. So this might be a great option. It's just, I think for both of us, we were immediately like, this is not it for us specifically.
Absolutely.
Because we are too bougie. But no, it's a great space, just not for us. So, final thoughts on Market Street Villages?
Oh, that's a no for me, dog. It was very cool. Again, it's great for like a family or someone on a budget, but I think from our perspective, this is probably not what we're aiming for.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, we're on a budget. Believe me, we're on a budget, and I'm trying to lower his expectations for our budget, but yeah, I think it's a no for me as well. We just like those modern clean lines a little bit too much. So next up is 4th and J, which is right around that same neighborhood. It is where Petco Park is.
Yes, and right by the stadium where the Padres play.
That's Petco.
Oh, look at that.
We don't know that much about San Diego yet. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. But it had nice finishes. You know, it has a pool and a hot tub that he'll actually take us down to see a little bit later. I did like the finishes in these apartments. He showed us, I think this was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath that he showed us first. It had like the galley kitchen, so right down the lane. It didn't have a gas stove.
Nope.
It did have electric stove, which we work with right now in Detroit. So, I mean, it's fine. I think the biggest thing with these apartments that we noticed was the lack of windows and natural light.
Yes, that's true. And also, another quick thing is the bathroom. The only bathroom available in the 1-bedroom seemed to be through the bedroom itself. So if you had guests over, they'd had to go through the bedroom to get into the bathroom.
Yeah, which I think is actually pretty common with 1-bedroom, 1-baths, depending on the apartment building. But
got it.
Again, you know, we're hopefully looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, so that wouldn't necessarily be the case for us. I also noticed that there are carpets in the bedrooms, which is not like a big no or a big red flag for me, but it is
inconvenient.
Not as nice.
I think the biggest red flag for me was the lack of natural light in the bedroom. Like, that's a hard no for me.
Yeah, with this 1-bedroom, I don't even think there was a window in the bedroom, but like the 2-bed, 2-bath he's going to show us, there are some windows, but even then, those windows seem to be significantly smaller than the windows in the living room. So we just like waking up to a lot of natural light. It really does help us wake up, so that's something that we look for. And so I don't think that these units would exactly work for us. It had nice, you know, city views again, so not our favorite, but maybe it would work for you guys. And like I said, like the bathrooms are actually pretty nice in my opinion. It had like white subway tile. The finishes were just really, really nice, well done. The other thing that I think I had asked beforehand, but I don't quite remember if this one did have cement walls across the apartment unit. So maybe a question for you guys to ask if you are looking at this building.
One of the other things that they had at this apartment building is I think every other floor had a lounge on the end of it where you could actually just go out there and sit, and you had like city views. I think they said that this area had a max height of 6 stories for any new build. So most of the buildings right around there were 6 stories or shorter. So it's not like you're crowded by all of these towers right beside you.
The rooftop lounge was, you know, pretty nice. They had like one area on one side with just seating, and then the other area had like barbecue and TV, so it was perfectly fine.
It was a very nice finished place, and the other thing about this area is any of the balconies that are facing inward, those are all lofts. So if you wanted a loft space, this is kind of the view you could expect from that as well.
I think the pool was pretty nice. The lounge space is also actually one of my favorites.
Very cool. I think it was one of the nicest ones we'd seen in a while.
Yeah, for sure. The finishes were really nice. It had space to play games. It had a little business area on the other side too, so you could work from home in that area. It was just really nicely furnished and nicely done, so this was one of my favorites of the buildings that we saw.
Agreed. The gym was, it's a standard gym, right? It's not
enormous.
Massive.
Not that we would even use the gym, but if that's something you care about, it's not massive. So, overall thoughts about 4th and J?
A very nice place. I don't think it's for us just because of the lack of natural lighting in the units. I think that's going to be a huge deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I honestly think that apartment building would be a top contender if it had bigger windows throughout every unit.
Yep.
So.
And I think also bigger bedrooms. If you guys might have noticed, the bedrooms are kind of small. We have a king-size bed, and I felt like that could be very cramped in that space.
Next up is EV Lofts, though I think they kept calling it Ev Lofts, so maybe I'm saying that wrong. But again, this is in East Village. I think the general consensus that we had with East Village was that it does have a little bit more of a homeless population. So if you're concerned with that, that might be something just to take note of. It is a little bit further away from Gaslamp. I mean, it's still like a 10-minute walking
10-minute walk,
something like that from like Gaslamp. I think the building itself was really nice, but immediately when we were walking through the hallways, we noticed a terrible stench, and we realized it was because they didn't have trash chutes on each floor.
And it kind of explained what we saw. So outside of the doors in some of these apartments, there was like a stain on the floor, and at first we didn't know what it was. And when we saw the signs, we realized it was like the juice from garbage, right?
Ugh.
Just like left out there. Yeah, as gross as that is. I genuinely, towards the end of it, told Ashanka like I had to leave, and I just started rushing out because I genuinely felt like throwing up. It was awful.
Honestly, it was very unfortunate because looking at the units themselves,
they're beautiful.
They're actually really nice. I mean, the finishes are right up our alley. Some of the views on some of the buildings, like there's like a nice street corner you'll see. I think it was the 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom that you'll see in a second. It had this really nice living room like window situation that you could see right on top of a street, which I thought was kind of cool. So everything inside the unit was honestly really nice. The windows were really big, lots of natural light I saw. So as soon as you step into your actual unit, it is really nice.
And you don't smell any of that in the unit. I just felt it was a massive deal breaker. Just even walking in, I would not be able to survive that.
So another thing is he is really big on like smells. And if he smells something bad, it's like an immediate turn off for him. And I could even understand. I don't have that acute of a sense of smell, but I could smell it walking down the hallways, and I would just hate walking down the hallways every day. So it was super unfortunate, honestly, because everything else was really nice. So if you don't have that big of a nose and you can't smell too much, this might be a great option for you, honestly. I also think the prices are better than the Diega for the square footage that you get, so this might be actually a great option for you guys. So then we got to visit the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom that I was talking about before, and this one was still being, finished and repainted from the last owners. But I really did like this apartment unit. The living room, which you will see in a second, just had like beautiful views, great lighting. It also, you'll see again, had an island, which was huge. There were so many apartment buildings that we didn't see that had an island. So storage was great here. The cabinet space, the countertop space, all of that. Like it just ticked so many boxes.
I think each bedroom had its own balcony as well, which is wild.
Yeah, which is great. So it's just so unfortunate. The smell in the hallways was unfortunately too strong. here is that kitchen space I was talking about, and then the island, which is huge. I mean, it's actually like a pretty big island.
Yep, it is. And then the living room itself is also huge.
Yeah, lots of windows.
Lots of storage.
Oh, it's just so unfortunate. It's just so unfortunate. It was like really nice, and when I was seeing the unit itself, I was like, oh, this is top 5, top 5. But then you just walk back out to the hallway, to that smell, and I'm like, it can't be top 5.
Yeah, these windows are just beautiful, and the views are awesome. It just feels like you're right there at city level.
The rooftop lounge was, I think, fine. It had lots of little spaces for you to sit down in. Again, it wasn't like we weren't blown away by the space by any means, but it was perfectly fine. It had a nice view of the city.
Yeah, and I think another thing is they had like a little pet area up there with, again, just the smell hit me and it was a little too strong for me.
Yeah, the pet area was like right next to where you were sitting. So it's like, again, that smell thing. This whole building just had issues with smell. So it's definitely, I think, on our no list, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it may work out for some people out there, so definitely check it out. Next up is the Ray, which I think was actually like down the street from the Diega. So
literally next door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
just
was
a block
next door.
away.
So again, in the Gaslamp area, it is another one of those like luxury finish apartments.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the view that it had off of the pool, but I think it was just like a little lacking on the rooftop lounge front. I think they were still developing it a little bit, is what he was saying.
Yeah, that's right. The difference between this and the Diega is this is right on the roof versus the Diega being on the 7th floor with their lounge. So there were better views from the rooftop lounge, of course.
Yeah, as you can see here, I mean, you can see straight to Coronado Bridge and the ocean. So that is like a really nice view. He first took us to a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
Mm-hmm. I liked how all of the doors had their own like lit unit signs, which is kind of cool, and they all have doorbells.
It's all about those little details for him. But the view here I thought was just really nice. It was straight down to the ocean. You could see the bridge. I did immediately notice that their balconies were bigger than I think any of the other units or any of the other buildings that we toured. Their balconies were huge. There was like lots of space. In this one, it also like went around the corner of
That was a 2-bedroom, I think.
Oh, was that
yeah,
the
the
2-bedroom?
1-bedroom goes, it connects all of the bedrooms effectively together. So in this one, it connects the living room and the bedroom, and there's a door between each, so you can just walk out either one.
Yeah, it was just really nice. I liked the kitchen. It had like a small island, so again, more countertop space.
I didn't like the electric stove. I really want a gas stove next time. I can't cook well on an electric stove.
Yeah, it just takes longer apparently. I don't know anything about cooking, but that's what he tells me. So of course I had to go outside and check out that actual balcony view, which is again amazing. I mean, I thought it was really, really nice. And it actually does look like this balcony does wrap
you're
around.
right. That's crazy.
So you get the mountain views, you get the ocean view, and then you get like right downtown as well. And there is a door from the bedroom to the balcony. So again, it like connects all of that.
So much space for activities.
So this was the bedroom. I thought it was a nice size. I mean, we could very
for sure.
easily fit our king bed in there. And again, it has like that the corner window thing that I really like. So that was nice. The walk-in closet was perfectly adequate. There was actually, which I thought was kind of cool, a window in the walk-in closet. Like you would like air out your clothes a little bit, which I like.
Cool. That's so cool. And I think this is from the same property management company as the Diega.
No, this is actually owned by Greystar, which owns a bunch of buildings in San Diego. So if you're looking for a property management company, look for Greystar. They do great buildings. And then Diega was by Bosa, which is the other property management company. Actually, Bosa has a couple condominiums downtown and that you can actually buy, and they look really nice if you are willing to put down, $1 million.
What do you think of the finishes in the bathroom?
I really like them. I think they were perfectly fine. There's a lot of space in here, which I think that maybe even the Diego is lacking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. Those finishes really nice. So then he showed us a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, which I think was actually similar pricing to the Diega.
I think you get a little more space for the money.
Okay, yeah, a little bit. I didn't love that in this living room there was like a big circular column, which meant that we would have less space inside the actual living room. So I know there are a couple floor plans I looked on their website that don't have the column. It just depends on like where you are in the building. But again, it has a nice balcony. We realized that if you are facing one direction in this building, which is towards this building right here, you have like
That's
kind
west,
of.
I think.
Okay, yeah, it might be west. You kind of have crappy views, so just make sure you're not facing west in this building, and you'll have perfectly great views. The kitchen appliances, I think they were working on the kitchen a little bit here. They were perfectly fine. It does come with like the smart thermostat, which a lot of places in San Diego do actually have. And then this was again the 2-bedroom, so bedroom sizes perfectly fine. Closet space was fine. I think the 2nd-bedroom closet we would probably use as like a storage closet. Bathrooms, super nice. Again, I think this is a great contender.
Eshi loved it.
Yeah, I really like the inside of the apartments and the views. And I think the balcony space was like really incredible. It just had so much balcony space, like
that
more
really,
than you
really
needed.
Won her over, absolutely. She's been talking about that for a while.
Yeah. So the gym, again, was perfectly fine. It had a lot of equipment. It also had its own, like, mirrored studio space, which was nice. And then it had an adequate lounge in, like, the lobby area, which was totally fine.
Yeah.
I think overall, it wasn't as bougie as the Diega. It didn't have as many amenities. It did have similar bedrooms, I thought, in terms of, like, view and finishes and maybe a little bit more square footage for your money. What did you think?
I agree with all those things. I think I'm still leaning Diego over the Ray just because it felt a little nicer, and I felt like if we're spending that tier of money for space, it would probably make sense more at the Diega versus the Ray.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be what can we afford in which building, because I think this is a great option as well. So the last apartment that we saw the night before we flew back to Detroit was called K1 Apartments. It was, I think, again, was it East Village? Is that what it's?
No, I don't think this is in East Village.
Okay, so it's like further.
This is right beside the San Diego Library,
Yes.
which we didn't realize that's this building here. It looks like the pterodactyl farm in like Jurassic Park. It has like that dome. So cool.
Actually, yeah, we were noticing that building all throughout our visit, and we kept asking people, like, what is that bird cage building? What's the bird cage building? And no one knew. It turns out it's the library. It is so cool.
It's so cool. And it's literally next door to this building.
Yeah, and I think that was honestly one of the biggest draws for this building, because a lot of the apartment buildings had a great view of the city and of that building. Its pool space was nice. It also had like a separated spot for the hot tub, which was interesting, with like a lot of seating. The gym was, again, perfectly fine. We did go, again, like during the nighttime, so the lighting is a little bit off in these videos. I'm sure it would be better lighting during the day, but unfortunately we weren't able to see it at that time. The lounge was also, again, perfectly fine. It's one of those situations where you can rent it out or first come, first serve.
They have free coffee 24/7 at their lounges. If you want to stop by on the way out, grab a coffee, they have it ready for you.
Which was super helpful because we were so tired by this day. Oh my gosh. And then this was the lounge. I forget which floor it was
It's like
on.
the 24th floor or something.
Something like that.
Very high
But
up.
this view of the library, of the birdcage building, of the city, and actually if you look all the way down, you could also see the water. I honestly really liked it.
Same. I thought it was beautiful.
You can see, you know, the sunset was right there.
And then right beside you, those balconies that you could see right there were all other apartments.
In that building, yeah. So those were good options. So here she's showing us a 1 bed, 1 bath. And I think right off the bat, something that we noticed was this was a previously owned apartment building that they were still cleaning out, and I think they owned a dog or a cat or something.
Immediately smell the smell of potential pee.
Yeah, so like first impressions are big, so it kind of detracted from that because you could just smell the pee. But I will say, lots of kitchen space. I mean,
Tons.
I think this was the biggest kitchen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was like the biggest kitchen we saw in all of the buildings. The bedrooms were kind of small, I thought, and they were carpeted. So again, that probably led to the pee smell we were smelling. Closets, super nice. Bathrooms, I thought were perfectly fine. The mirrors were kind of cool, but maybe bad if you don't like the blaring lights in your face. But overall, I thought like the finishes were really nice. Again, that kitchen was like, I thought really cool. It just had so much space and so much cabinet space too.
Yeah. Oh,
storage
tons of
space.
cabinet space. The other cool thing is there's 2 entrances to the bathroom. So if you have
In
a
a
one
one
bedroom,
bedroom, yeah.
in the 1 bedroom. So there's one right through your bedroom, and then there's one out through the main hall. And the view is just spectacular. It just looks so cool.
Yeah, it's the birdcage building, the library that you see. That is really, really cool. And it has a gas stove, so that's nice.
Yep.
So the 2 bedroom, 2 bath, I think is what I was specifically thinking about when I was thinking kitchen space, because it comes with that island, which is huge. I also don't mind all of like the wood tones. I'm totally fine with that. If you like a more modern look, that might not be for you, but because there are a lot of wood tones in there. This one came with a balcony, which I loved. Again, that same type of view where you could see down to the ocean, you could see the library, and then down to the city. So I really liked that. The living room was, I think, a good size. There was actually a lot of storage space too. There's like a couple closets in the front. The bedrooms, again, carpeted. A little bit smaller. Again, it was really dark in there, so you aren't gonna get like the best feel for it in this video.
And we didn't turn the lights on because there were no lights to turn on in the bedrooms. They actually took the fixtures down, but you can install a fan or a light. You know, all of that was there for you to install yourself. But yeah, that's why this video is kind of dark.
And to be fair, a lot of the apartment buildings, I don't know if it's everywhere or maybe just in San Diego or Detroit, they don't have overhead lighting.
Yeah, which is a little
very
odd.
which
This
is
place
very
did
weird.
have the ability to put that in. Like they had
Yes.
the wires exposed, so you could put that in, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true.
And this is the master bath.
Yeah, I do like the 2 sinks. Standing showers, which is really nice. I think they had the standing shower in the 1 bedroom as well instead of a tub, which would be great for me if I was looking for a 1 bedroom. The amenities, again, there was a business center if you wanted. There was like a conference room that looked really nice. I probably wouldn't really use it that much.
No,
to
the
be
business
honest.
center's very small here.
Yeah, it's pretty small. So again, the amenities, they had some nice amenities. They also had storage next to your car, which came with every parking space. I remember her saying
I think but it was extra, wasn't it?
I think it came with it.
Wow.
I'm not sure, but I think the storage space came with your parking spot, which is great. They had like cleaning services, mail rooms, just like a couple of the other places did. But overall, I think the actual apartments were nice, minus the carpeted bedrooms.
I think the location was also a big detractor.
That's
While it
true.
was beside the San Diego Library, which is awesome, it was kind of in like a desolate area. It kind of felt like the last building in San Diego, pardon
Like
the
at
pun.
the edge of San Diego, almost.
Exactly.
It felt like it.
Like there was just like a vast amount of parking lots beside you. There just really wasn't anything at all to do immediately outside of the building, outside of the public library. There was a rail line directly in front of you.
But again, with the rail line, I did see a lot of homeless population, and it's sad to see that every day. If you're walking to your building, you see a lot of homeless people in that area.
Mm-hmm. That is very true. And there's two sides to that coin, of course, right? Like in Gaslamp, they generally have a stricter like no homeless population, which kind of is frustrating because it's like, well, where are they going to live? They're homeless, right? But at the same time, if you are potentially a smaller person, if you are a female, that could be something that's a little scarier for you. So
yeah. So overall thoughts of K1, I think that we can definitely continue looking at it. I think it has a lot of great features. It's not like my top 2, top 3, but it was really nice, and it may be a great option for you guys. So that wraps up all of our apartment tours. We saw 12 apartments in total in 4 days in San Diego. So if nothing else, give this video a like for my insane planning. Subscribe if you want to see more travel content. I'm sure we'll have other moving vlogs and things in the future coming your way. Don't forget to check out part 1. I will leave that in the description box below as well. If you have any other questions about the apartments that you have seen here with us, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Oh, and leave a comment if you think you know which apartment building is our top 1 and 2 and maybe even 3. If we didn't already make it obvious, I think you guys probably already know what our number 1 choice was, but leave a comment below if you think you know the other ones.
thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video.
Bye.